Right. Now we want to learn about the different types of variables that we have in C#, right? So we have integer variables, double, comma, 3, 5, 4, 6, 5, 7. We also have float, right? We also have bool. This is for boolean. Boolean doing is nana true or false, right? So if you want to use boolean, maybe you are developing an application, you could see maybe it's a payroll, right? There's a group of management that are supposed to be getting a COVID allowance, right? So maybe in your program, you're not going to introduce a variable which is of type bool. You could, is this person in management? False. It means that person is not going to get an extra allowance. If it's true, then the person is in management. The person is going to receive the COVID allowance, right? We also have string. These are variables that we have C#. Int, double, float, bool, string, right? You can experiment with them if you want to offer. Then we also have different types of these variables. Remember types. We have what? Static variables. We have what? Non-static variables. These are also referred to as instance variables. Then we also have constants. Constants, right? But constants, you use the keyword const. Constants. We also have read-only. We also have read-only variables. So these are basically the different types of variables that we have. My data types we're not going to look at them because I know it is in Python and you've done them way back. My diploma. Maybe we can just get an example. Just an example. Int A, right? That's how you declare a variable. You can declare it and assign a variable at the same time. Like A equals to 100. Which means the value of A is 100. A variable basically is a named memory location, and that memory location will be located in the main memory. That is the random access memory. Right. So what we want to do is we want to print the value of A. So we use right line, then A, right? So you run it. Then you run it 100, right? That's A. You can also use a string, string A. But as you can see, for now, we want to assign an integer to a string. This cannot implicitly convert integer to string. So what do you do if you want to convert integer to string? You use keyword, you use function on string, and then you're home and dry. You are home and dry. So you can press that one or press F5 to run it. 100, you're done, right? So basically, my strings you use double quotes, really. Double quotes, also. Double quotes. Then you run it. Run it. We also have double. Yeah, yes, double. That's your double, right? Double. That's your double. Double is a number that is not. Is a number that is with an element of a fraction. A number that is with an element of a fraction. 2.1, 3.4, what, blah blah blah. We also have plot. Right? Plot. Right. I want you to see something. Notice something. Right? Cannot not plot like this. It will raise it. The error says Literal of type double cannot be implicitly converted to type float using F suffix to create a literal of this type, which means the suffix is usually the last character of the value that we are assigning. So the last character of the value that we are assigning should be an F, which shows that it's a float. Right? That's the difference between double and float for assigning our values. Float, you need no errors. 5.23, we are home and dry. Most of them no tester, one boolean. Boolean, you have to use what? Bool. Plain. It goes to false, right? Then followed, but you can't run it. You can't use boolean like this. Bool is normally used with condition statements, right? Like control structures, if statement, what. We are going to experiment with it, kind of control structures. So we don't want to confuse anyone, right? So we're done with this. Now we want to look at different types of variables. We say we have static, non-static, constant, and constant. Let's start with static variables. Static variables, they are only created once during the lifetime of a class. And let's look at static variables. You have to use the keyword static. Static int a equal to 89. Right. So if you want to access a static variable that has been declared outside a function, like in this situation, you can access it directly, right? By just typing the name of the variable. You can execute your program with no pressure and a problem. You can also access it via the class name. Which means whenever you can say, you can write program dot a. Azvinagana problem, banana pressure. Program yako will execute. Right. Now we also want to create a non-static variable. Non-static or instant variable. That's what we want to create now. Let's say I go int b. Int b. B is equals to 66. Right? B is our non-static variable. Let's see Panapa. Let's create another. We want to see if we can directly access. B. You see, there's an error. Let's go and look at the error. You should learn Kuerenga Panapa error. It gives you a better understanding. Your programming life will be a bit easier. An object reference is required for the non-static field. Which non-static field? B is the non-static field. Method or property, right? Which means we cannot access B in this manner. We need an object reference. So in other words, we need to instantiate an object. No wonder why these are called instance objects. So how do you instantiate an object? You instantiate an object using this syntax. This is how you instantiate an object, right? This is how you instantiate an object. Right? Class name, then object name, which is the name of the choice. Then the new keyword, then class name, right? This is how you instantiate an object. That's the syntax. Class name, object name equals to new keyword, class name, right? So in this case, what's the class name? The class name is program. So we type program, pana. What's the object name? Let's say we give it my obj, right? Then equals to new, then class name, brackets, da. So this is the object that we have just instantiated, right? And this thing, new program, it's a constructor. Constructor later. we are going to have a section where we are going to be discussing constructors. Right. So after instantiating an object, still we need to use this object to access B. How do we do it? You write the name, the object name, obj, then dot. This is the dot operator. We use it to access. When we say dot, it gives us the list of things that can be accessed using the object. So we can see B atokwana pamamonya ipapo, and B, right? Which means we don't have any problem. Now, this is how you access a what? This is how you access. This is how you access an instance variable, a non-static variable, right? You can also right. What else? I just want to see if there's anything. Constant. Right. Let's go to my constants. Constant. A constant variable, you declare it using the keyword const. Right. Int x. Right. Let's look at this. We have just declared the variable, but we didn't assign a value. Right. We didn't assign it a value. Let's see is this a problem? As you can see, it's a problem, right? What's the problem? A constant field requires a value to be provided, which means when you are declaring a constant, you should automatically assign a value. What to assign a value? I need it. 56. Right. Next, how then do we access this thing? How do we access this thing? How do we access a constant? How do you access a constant? You access a constant by simply typing x, right? You access a constant by simply typing x. You see? It becomes simple for us. Let's see. Can you access a constant via class name? Can you access via class name? There it is, x. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Right? Right. We also need to look at read only. Read only variables. Equals to. Right. Let's just read only is 54. We want to experiment with this one. Let's see. Can we access it directly? Read only. Can we access read only directly? Right. There is a problem. An object reference is required for the non-static field method or public, which means we have to instantiate a what? An object. We have already instantiated it, so we just access z via the object. My obj dot the little z is there, right? Right. Therefore, z is there. Access it. Now let's take things a step further. Can we change the value of x? Let's see. X is equals to, let's say, 4. You can see there's an error there. It says the left-hand side of an assignment must be a variable, property, or index. If we try to run it, let's see the error that the left-hand side of an assignment must be variable, property, or index. What this simply means is this is a constant variable. Constant means kana chinhu chiri constant chinoramba chakadaro achichinji handiti. So you cannot change x. Panapa we wanted to change the value of x. We cannot do that because it's constant. And we also want to find out if we can do anything to z, right? Z is read only. Read only rorere. You cannot change. An object reference is required for the what okay. My obj, right? Try to run it. Let's see what he's going to say. I like people to read. A read-only field cannot be assigned. Read-only, you cannot